Well-sized bet from David, giving Modest 3-1 on his river decision with 2 pair.
And Modest has got to think it through. Did this guy really flop a king? A pair of 4s for Darren. And he's going to raise it.
Now David with a hand in the small blind that can mix calling and 3-betting. So how does he want to play it?
He will make that call. Mattis now induced a call with his just a 6-5, so he will play 3-way action. The flop is a Jack 10-5, so jacks for David Baker, 5s for Mattis. David's gonna bet 550.
I am not a big fan of this lead from David. I just don't think that he's going to balance it by betting a lot of hands as a semi-bluff there. If anything, he may have missed an opportunity to get some value with his top pair and backdoor draws, but it is going to win him the pot.
He's a former traveling salesman, and now he travels to the casino. 200 days a year, that's the Commerce Casino, from Arizona. He wants to prove himself as one of the elite players. He has quite a reputation already. Now Mattis,
calling out of the small blind with Jack 10 of hearts. Darren checks a 3-2 offsuit. And we see a flop of 10-5-3, so a good flop for both players here, but particularly Modest with top pair.
yep, who didn't raise before the flop, and now he's going to trap again. And Darren's going to bet his little 3s, 200.
Modest will check call here. I'm sure he would mix in some check raises, but just a call this time.
The king on the turn is going to change things up. There's 3 spades out there now, and Mattis not as confident. Checks.
King of spades should slow Darren down. Not a good card for him, and he will check behind.
A 9 on the river. Now Mattis,
575.
maybe he's getting confident again. 575.
These guys played 3-handed at last year's Tournament of Champions final table. Now running it back at the LAPC final table, and Darren in another spot against the man who knocked him out at their last final table together. Darren wondering whether Modest has enough bluffs here that he needs to call with any pair on the river.
Mattis wasn't going to play this tournament. Then he told his fiancée, Greta, I got a feeling great things are going to happen. I'm going to win this. And he might be right. Darren says, is this guy picking my pocket? Finally, he does the right thing. Mattis of Dallas, youngest player at the table, taking this one down.
His Top Gun sunglasses match his watch. It's definitely a guy who thought the outfit through. Maybe thought, let's have some color in the middle.
All right, it's on him, and he's going to raise it to 375 with an 8-4. Darren with a pair of 6s here.
All in.
And he is just going to put it all in.
Wow, that's over 40 blinds that he's jamming there against both opponents. He better hope David doesn't wake up with a hand.
Yeah, well, he's got all my...
Yeah, that's a hand.
What timing? David Baker.
Call.
Pair of aces at the right time. Makes his call. Mattis gets out of the way. Hand over hand, Darren Elias, the chip leader, imploding before our very eyes.
Modest loves this. Darren Elias has had a miraculous run on WPT final tables. He has won 4 titles, but if he doesn't win this hand, it is going to be very difficult to get his 5th tonight.
No, if it doesn't turn around on this hand, he will be crippled. Darren needs to get very lucky. He doesn't get it there. Queen 10-5 on the flop. Darren went into this hand, of course, as the chip leader, so he won't be broke, but he'll be Down to his last couple million. If things don't turn around here, it's a jack.
6 and only a 6 will deliver this pot to Darren.
Can Darren do it?
If he hits a 6, I am going to lose my mind.
I'm
I'm gonna like throw my chair over the railing and just
I'm gonna throw
lose
this
it.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw you over the rail. Let's see if it happens. What's it gonna be? 3 of spades. You can stay, Tony.
Well, I might not be going over the railing, but Darren's stack is going over to David.
Play online poker for real cash and prizes at WPT Global. Sign up for free today using bonus code YT33 and get free entry into a $100,000 guaranteed tournament.
When will Darren come out of the weeds here with this extreme short stack? This time, 7-4 clubs. Does he want to take a stab here and put it all in?
All in.
That's what he's going to do. With 7-4, he gets one man to drop, but Mattis
Call.
makes his call.
Mattis actually called, having seen one card, the ace, and Darren is so short here that that's all Mattis needs to see to make it a good call. So Darren all in and at risk. Not in that bad of shape. Slightly worse than flipping.
So the 4-time WPT champion, the phenomena of poker, Darren Elias, in a lot of trouble, trying to survive. And the flop is a queen, 5-10, 2 clubs, so Darren with a 4 flush.
Just like that, Darren becomes the favorite in the hand. Any club, 7 or 4. Well, we're running straight.
Oh, that's not going to help him, though. King of hearts. So now Mattis, a nice favorite to take him out of this event.
Darren with 15 outs going to the river. Let's see if he can find one of them.
Oh, it's a queen.
Yeah, with the queen of hearts on the river, we are going to lose Darren Elias in 3rd place. The greatest WPT player of all time comes up a little short.
And he is not going to play it sneaky. He makes it 525. Mattis with queen 8. Going to go for the ride. And the flop is at 8-3 deuce, so Mattis out flopping David.
Great flop for Mattis's hand. And they're really not that deep, so should David bet, maybe Mattis will just check raise and get it in, but no, David will check behind.
4 on the turn.
Safe card for Mattis. We'll add a gut shot to David's ace-queen high. And Mattis bets big here, 900,000.
David now, what to do?
Well, I can't imagine David wants to fold. He's got too much hand right now for that.
All in.
He's going to go over the top all in with this.
Whoa, that is not what I expected to hear. I don't know why David chose this spot to bluff. It very much looks like a draw of some kind. That said, David and his aggressive plays have been bullying Mattis all night at this final table, and thus far Mattis has not been able to catch him. I mean, having the queen of clubs isn't ideal. You block some of the bluffs, but still, you're so high up in your range.
And the clock is ticking down. He has no more time, so
Oh,
he's got to let it
no.
go.
Oh, Mattis is getting worked in these big pots by David tonight.
Interesting plays, but right now Mattis has picked up a real hand, pair of 10s, and he will raise it to 500. David Baker looks at an ace-3.
Now, Mattis only has about 21, 22 blinds to start this hand. I think David may just put him in.
$8 million.
Yep, he's going to try it.
Call.
Insta-call, of course, by Mattis. And Mattis finally falling into a nice place where he has the solid hand to double up.
Tens against ace three.
Tens, baby. Tens.
Three ace.
And I don't really blame David for shoving it in here. These small ace rags don't play very well post-flop. You often have the best hand pre, and when you're called, as you can see, you're only about a 2-to-1 dog in many situations. Jack 10-3, Modest has flopped middle set.
What a great flop for Modest and Ballas.
Yeah, but at this point, David Baker needs runner to knock Modest and Ballas out.
Oh, boy.
We need club. We need club. He flopped set. Yeah. Club or queen king.
King of clubs.
Going to the turn. And it's not going to work out. 7 of hearts on the turn. Modest is going to double up in a big way.
And nothing David should feel bad about there, despite getting it in behind against Modest.
Nice time.
An aggressive play that often will take it down pre-flop, but this time ran into pocket tens. So there you see David Baker, above 13 million, still in the lead against Modest and his 8.6 million.
Started this event with 546 entries, putting up 10,000 each. Did you play this one, Tony?
For one day I did,
Okay.
and then I ran into Amnon Philippe and his top boat.
Oh, wow. Sorry for the memory. All right. We had a raise and a call and a flop of 9-10 deuce. 2 clubs. So deuces for David Baker. Quick check by Modest. Check. 6 on the turn.
And a good board for Modest to start bluffing with his gut shot, overcard, and blocker to many of the flush draws in the Jack of Clubs.
He's betting 750, and David Baker will lay down the deuces. A little rush happening for Modest.
Modest has mostly been on the receiving end of bluffs tonight, but gets away with one there and makes David fold a pair. Now with 5-4 offsuit on the button.
Makes it a nickel. And now David.
David here, defending in the big blind with Queen 8. Gets a Jack 7 flop.
David's checked.
$350,000 is the bet over to David. David doesn't have much hand here, but he doesn't look like he's in the mood to fold. You know, again, I think it makes a little more sense to do this when you have a gut shot or a clear backdoor draw. However, David's still showing that aggression is so difficult to handle in poker and that often your opponent just doesn't have anything to call you with. So another successful bluff for David Baker.
Play online poker for real cash and prizes at WPT Global. Sign up for free today using bonus code YT33 and get free entry into a $100,000 guaranteed tournament.
As David looks down at ace-6 offsuit.
Yeah, David Baker doing a lot of bluffing here tonight, and it has paid off for him. Aggressive play, a lot of creative thinking. Makes it 525. Modest with 10-3 clubs will make the call.
And a 4 deuce 1 club flop. That's not bad for both players' hands, both of them holding a collection of backdoor draws. And a 3 on the turn will give Modest the lead in this hand. 3s and deuces. And he's gonna fire out for $750,000. David has enough hand to continue here. He has a gut shot to the 6-high straight. He has 2 overcards to the board. His ace of spades presents some interesting bluffing opportunities should the river be a spade.
He hopes to get lucky, and he does. Ace hits,
Great card for David.
Modest is going to check. You got to think David's going to put in a value bet here.
Definitely. Modest can have lots of 4s and 3s. He really doesn't have that many deuces in his defend range. Ooh!
You're at 3.
Missed opportunity from David with the weak check back there.
Surprising, but he's taken so many chances, he probably just wants some breathing room. Will raise with a king 8, 750. Modest from Lithuania quickly calling with his queen 10. Let's see the flop. Whoa, the flop is a king, king 7. 3 of a kind for David Baker. Modest getting none of that. Now Baker, who raised before the flop, is going to put in a nice bet of 350 to keep his man around, perhaps.
Nicely sized bet from David there. So small that Modest continues despite not even having an overcard to the king. And ooh, this could cost him queen on the turn. Modest with 2 pair, but drawing dead against David's trips.
So now he's got the guy hooked. So David here gonna build the pot with a 950 bet.
Now a medium-sized bet of about 40% pot from David over to Modest. And of course with the queen on the turn, Modest not ready to fold.
Last card, a jack of spades.
Well, Modest does block the potential straights of 10-9 and ace-10. However, I think some of David's most likely double-barrel bluffs contain a jack, like ace-jack, jack-10, jack-9.
Yeah, David in a great place, trying to figure out the right amount he can get from his victim. He's going to take some more time just to try to throw it off Modest a little bit.
David gonna spend a time bank chip before electing to bet 2.3 million. About half pot here in a well-sized bet from David, giving Modest 3-1 on his river decision with 2 pair.
And Modest has got to think it through. Did this guy really flop a king?
It is a little hard to find bluffs in David's range here. He just needs to have an air ball, really. What was bluffing the turn that goes for 3 on the river? I'm not finding many hands, Vince.
Modest is going to throw in his last time chip. Yep, he's gonna make this call.
Well, Modest has been getting bullied in these big pots all night, and I guess his patience ran out. Finally calls down David Baker at exactly the wrong time.
Well, it's the perception of David Baker has stolen so many pots, he could almost be playing anything. This time he has the goods. Modest has to pay him off, and that is a huge swing. David Baker now just dominating this heads-up battle. David's never taken down a WPT title. This would be his first title if he should so succeed. Modest, of course, taking down a WPT title in the UK. No raise, just called by Modest. And the flop is at ace 10-3. 10s for Modest. Inside straight draw for David Baker.
Modest has been pretty aggressive about betting his medium strength hands that need protection, and he continues that here by firing 300,000 with his middle pair. David, with a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw, has enough hand to continue.
Joint card is 6. Now that gives open-ended there for David Baker. Modest still out in front with the 10s. He is going to check.
And David has been quite aggressive tonight in some of these turn situations where he has a moderate amount of equity. I wonder if he'll attempt a similar bluff here facing this bet of 600,000 from Modest.
So he has to take more time for his decision.
It's getting just about the right price to see a river here. And so he'll make the call, looking for a deuce or a 7 on this river.
For the miracle, and he's going to get it. He's going to get the deuce. He's got the straight.
Modest only has about a pot-sized bet behind here. So does David want to lead out, or will he check?
$10 million.
And he's going to put him all in. He's saying, I know you think I'm a bluffer at this time. You call, you're out. Game over, David wins.
Modest has no more time chips, so he needs to make his decision pretty quickly here. He's got middle pair, but he doesn't block the flush, does block the straight. He's been getting run over in these spots. Oh, and it's over, Vince.
David's done it.
It is over. Modest makes the call on the river. David exposes his straight, and he is your new LA Poker Classic champion.
ODB, Mr. David Baker. Wow, David, so exciting.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not for bluffing, I definitely would not have won this tournament. I bluffed a lot.
Well, this is great. You're going to win over $1 million here tonight. That is a big score here at Esports Arena. How you feeling?
Rich. On behalf of our friends at Baccarat, let's toast our champion, David Baker.